Hello YouTube, it's Tryways here. I actually got a request from a guy named Jaffrey Ford to make a tutorial on some basic 3-ball tricks. So mainly this video is for him, but I guess if you're watching this video and you're trying to learn too, you can say this video is for you. You know, whatever. But at this point I figure you know how to do the 3-ball cascade. Because if you're trying to learn tricks, then I hope you know how to juggle. So yeah, the first trick that I'm going to talk about uses something known as an overthrow. And an overthrow looks something like this. It's just like that. Maybe you already know how to do it, maybe you don't. But quickly I'm going to explain what it is. When you're juggling a normal cascade, you throw one up and the other one underneath it, correct? With this one, you're just doing the complete opposite. You're throwing one up and you're throwing the second one over it. So it's something like that. So if you want to take 2 balls for a couple minutes and just practice, alternating back and forth, maybe the underneath and then the over, just to get the feel for it, it helps. Once you get that down, start with your 3-ball cascade again. And it's just a matter of catching one ball and then throwing it over the other 2. It might be hard at first, but again, practice, 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 and you'll get it down. Once you can do that on one side, I highly recommend to try it on the other side. Whenever you learn a trick, you want to try learning on both sides. That'll help out a lot later on, so always keep that in mind. So if you want to try it on your other side as well, do it. And once you can do it pretty good on both sides, just start throwing it in every once in a while. Practice it. When you're feeling pretty comfortable, first trick is basically that exact move, just done continuously from one side. And it's known as a half shower. It's a pretty cool trick. A lot of people actually think it looks really cool. I think it does. So yeah, to do it, it's just the matter of doing it multiple times on the same side. And the best way to learn this is just to build it up. Try 2, go back into the cascade. Try 2, go back into the cascade. Once you can do that solid 10 times, try for 3. Okay? And of course, try it on the other side. And then just keep building it up. The 4, you know, and you can do 5, and then once you can do it continuously, you're now juggling the half shower. Congratulations. Your very first 3-ball juggling trick. It's one of the easiest, but it's still pretty cool. The next trick is basically taking that one step further, and it's known as tennis. All you do is you throw an overthrow, but instead of going back into the pattern, you just simply catch it and throw it back over to the other side again. So it's a boom, boom. That's tennis. And obviously it would look something like this when you keep doing it. It's a very cool trick. You can emphasize it by throwing it very far or very high, whatever. You can even make it really small. But basically, again, just to do it, you just throw one over, catch it, and try to throw it back. Believe me, it's going to feel like you don't have time to throw it back at first, but the more you practice this, the more time you seem to have. And eventually you feel like you have all the time in the world. And obviously it gets its name from the fact that it looks like a tennis ball going back and forth. So, tennis ball used for emphasis. Okay. The next trick you can learn is taking that another step forward, and it looks something like this. It's doing continuous overthrows from both sides at the same time. And you'll notice it looks just like normal juggling, just completely opposite. Hence the name reverse cascade. Doing the same exact thing, but think of it as a half shower from both sides at the same exact time. Okay? The problems you're going to have in the beginning when you're trying to learn this is you're going to have collisions, you're going to be dropping, you're going to be trying to do this, and you're going to be going higher and higher and higher, trying to throw the balls over each other. That's normal. Happened to me. This one took a long time for me to learn, but basically just keep at it. Give yourself enough time. Don't try to rush it and do as quick as possible. Just give yourself some time and think over each throw. That was bad, but think over each throw so you have enough time. And just keep practicing this. And again, it's a build-up thing. Try it for a little bit and then stop and just build it up. Once you can do it, you're now juggling 3-ball reverse cascade. Very cool trick. People will be like, wow, that's awesome. Because it really is. a really cool trick. So there's 3 tricks right there you can do just with the overthrow alone. Some other basic tricks. Well, I can introduce you into some body throws. Body throws is stuff like under the leg, off the knee, behind the back, off the head, rolled off the head, stuff like that. There's a lot of other ones you can do off your foot. You can actually catch it behind your neck, flick it up. But those are more advanced stuff, so I'm not going to talk about that right now. But the main principle behind body throws, or most body throws, is throwing a ball a little bit higher to give yourself enough time to do whatever you're trying to do. So say I want to throw underneath the leg. I throw that one a little higher than I normally would, so I have enough time to throw the other one under the leg. Whenever I go behind the back, I throw that one up higher. You don't see me throwing it like a little bit like this. You see me throwing it like this. Of course, when you first started, though, you want to emphasize it so you have more time, and you can really throw it up there if you want to. But I'll start out by teaching the off the knee really fast. To do off the knee, it's just a matter of throwing one up, pausing the pattern, and instead of catching the ball with your other hand, you hold on to that other ball, so you hold on to this ball, and just basically act like your knee's your hand, and just let it bounce off your knee by picking your knee up. Then, depending on which side it comes towards you, throw that ball and go back into the pattern. The hardest part about this, I think, there's 2 hard parts about it. One is getting the right part of the knee. The right part of the knee is probably this part right here. You don't want to hit your kneecap. It's going to send the ball flying. And you definitely don't want to hit too close here because it's going to either hit your chin or it's just going to bounce off your body. It's going to be no good. The best part is like right there. So I mean, just practice that. It shouldn't take too long, but once you get it down, it's very cool. It's very cool. And the other one, the other problem with this trick is just learning what side to catch it on. I mean, it takes a little while to get yourself to be able to react quick enough to throw that ball. That was the hardest part for me, but again, it's not too hard to overcome with some practice. Next trick, underneath the leg. To do underneath the leg, just like I said, you're basically just going to throw one up a little higher, and you're just going to try throwing that ball underneath your leg, just like that. And if you can't manage to do that right off the bat, try with 2 balls. Just throw one up high, throw the other one underneath it. Throw up high, throw the other one underneath it. Just keep practicing that. Once you can do that, try it with 3. It's just a matter of just throwing one up and going underneath. And again, if you got to throw that ball way up there into space, do it. When you get better, you can lower it, lower it, and lower it. Okay? Once you can do it on that side, of course, again, it's good to try on the other side. And if you even want to take it the next step further, you can even try doing it multiple times underneath the same leg, or even do like an under the leg tennis kind of thing. And of course, the behind the back. To do the behind the back, the best thing to do is to start out with 1 ball and just to throw it behind the back, just to see if you can do it, just to get the feeling of motion down. But believe me, this is a hell of a lot easier than what it is juggling. When you're ready, you can try 2 balls. You can throw one up and then throw the one behind the back. We'll do that again, like that. You can also throw behind the back and then throw that one up. Whatever. And of course, you can try it both sides if you want to, and just get that down. Once you got that down, try it with 3. The matter again is just throwing one up higher and throwing behind the back. And if you still can't seem to do it, try throwing behind the back to start your pattern. It's just a matter of starting with 2 balls like normal, throwing it behind the back, and then going into a cascade. This is how I started behind the backs. I'd go like this. And then eventually I was able to actually work myself into doing it into the pattern. But once you can do it, it's very cool. And of course, if you want to go even more advanced with it, you can try throwing multiple behind the back at the same time. And you can even go for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but that's getting more advanced. So you can try that later on.